On to matchup number 3, we have Centurions 1-0, surprise 1-0, but not to me. Oh, oh. And McNabb's stinky Percy 1-1 after tying the almighty Wembley, of course. ESPN has us very close, having Stinky Percy favored 117 to 114. Of course, that's including the 1 point home field advantage. I bring that up again because both teams in this matchup were highly affected by it. Centurions bought a win, and Stinky Percy got stuck with a tie. Either way, this one should be a good one. Let me... Sorry guys, it's like way late at night here. I'm trying to get these done. I was supposed to get it done on Wednesday. I got some of them done on Wednesday, and fuck man, I just had nothing else to do, so I had to just, yeah. Anyhow, see what I do for you guys. See what I do. Go into the matchup. Centurions starting Josh Freeman. Percy starting Schaub. Schaub going up against Miami. Freeman against Minnesota. Freeman had really not a great outing last week. He caught up a little bit in the second half because they were down so much with 14 points, which is decent. I think against Minnesota, he's going to be about the same, about that 14 to 15 point range. I think that's actually going to be what he's going to be at most of the season. You take Schaub, had only 8 points last week, only 8 points. And unfortunately for him, they didn't need to throw the ball that much just because they beat the hell out of the Colts. They're projecting him at 16 against Miami. I actually think he's going to go a little bit higher than that. Also, Owen Daniels is going to have a big day. That's where Schaub's going to get most of his stuff to, at least one to Andre Johnson too. But for Schaub's case, I'll give him about 23 points. You go into running backs, Michael Turner, McFadden, Sean Green. For Percy, Turner got 12 last week. He's going up against Philly this week. I just don't. I see it's going to be more of a shootout than a Michael Turner game. I know Atlanta's going to try to control the clock and control the ground, control the ball. I just don't see it happening as much as they would like it to. Give me Michael Turner with only 9 points. Darren McFadden, great game. It was actually a standout game against Denver, but it was Denver. It wasn't the Pittsburgh Steelers. He got 15 points at 150 yards. McFadden's going up against Buffalo. Buffalo can score points, but Oakland seems committed to the run both this year and last year. I looked for McFadden to get the same amount of points this time, except about 90 yards, maybe 100 yards, with a touchdown instead of just all yardage on this one. Sean Green with the Jets. I'm going up against Jacksonville. I'm sorry to say I still don't believe in Sean Green until he shows me something. He got 2 points last week. I don't see him getting over 7 points this week. Hopefully he does something, and then you can try to trade him away to someone who is stupid and after a good week, right? That would be nice for you. Go over to Cologne Centurions. Ahmad Bradshaw, Fred Jackson, Kenny Britt in the flex. Bradshaw with 11 points last week. Going up against the banged up St. Louis Rams defense. See him getting a little bit more this week. I actually see him getting 14 this week. Fred Jackson for Buffalo. Listen, they're a throwing team. Fred Jackson can get his points. He got 11 last week. Going against Oakland, I don't see him having a great game. Give me 7 points for Fred Jackson. Kenny Britt, 27 points last week. Just like Dwayne Bowe won't have 1 point every single week. Kenny Britt is not putting up 27 or anywhere near that every single week. They're projecting him at 14 against Baltimore. No. Give me 5 points for Kenny Britt this week. Go to receivers. Larry Fitzgerald, when is he going to wake up out of this slump? 6 points last week. It just doesn't seem like Kolb is going to him as much as you would think. They're saying 15 for him. I hope for his sake he does. I'm going to say 11. for Kelvin Johnson, Megatron. He got 20 last week. I don't see it stopping. I don't see it stopping. I think he's still, I'm not saying he's going to get 20 every week. I still think he's going to be solid each and every week as long as Stafford is healthy. Now, that's the big if. I mean, you're banking on him to have a great year, but his situation lies with Stafford, unfortunately for him. But as it is right now, Stafford's fine. They're going up against Kansas City, who gave up 41 points to Buffalo. Give me about 17 or 16 points for Calvin Johnson this week. Deshaun Jackson, Percy Harvin for Percy, Stinky Percy. Deshaun Jackson, okay, I was wrong. He got a touchdown, but you got to admit you were sweating it. You thought he wasn't either. It threw to him a hell of a lot. I think that's what actually hurt Vic, is he was kind of going to Deshaun Jackson too vehement, just constantly, and he was just too vehement about it, and his completion rating was terrible. Deshaun Jackson looked great. He did. He got the touchdown at the end of towards the end of the game on a broken play, which happens a lot, but especially with Vic. This week, going up against Atlanta, I don't actually see him getting 16. Give me 12 for Deshaun Jackson. Percy Harvin from Minnesota, 7 last week. Going against Tampa Bay this week, give me about 7 to 10 for Percy Harvin. Antonio Gates, 7 last week. I definitely think he's going to get more than that this week, going against New England. New England doesn't really have anybody to match up well with Gates, other than scheme. But talent-wise, they don't have anybody to match up with Gates. So give me Gates with 16 points. He's going to have a really good week. Jermichael Finley, only 5 points last week. See, everybody was so high on Jermichael Finley. He's this athletic freak. He's this. He's this. Yeah, it's true. But the problem is he has no line of work, and people were ranking him in the top 3 tight ends. From what? From what? The 2 weeks or 3 weeks before he got hurt last year? Come on. I take Aaron Hernandez over him any day of the week. But as it is, they're scheduling him for 12. It's Carolina. He could get 12. I still don't think he's going to. I think he's going to be around that 8 value this week. Defenses, the Giants for Centurions with St. Louis. Like it because of the injuries on St. Louis. Don't love it. I still don't see the Giants getting a lot of points. Maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5. Packers defense. Packers going against Carolina. You gotta love that. ESPN saying 6. I'm gonna say 12. As of, if you guys should have everybody who's in your lineup be in your lineup. I actually agree with pretty much anything. The only thing I would say to take out, especially for Stinky Percy, I would definitely, as you probably know, keep a tight eye on Ben Tate and Arian Foster. Ben Tate ran really, really well last week, and if Foster's out, he's a definite start this week. As it stands, I'm going to give the win to Stinky Percy, going 1-0-1. Centurions will fall back this week. Give me a 15-point difference. I'm going to say 105 for Percy, 90 for Centurions. Anyhow, that's my pick. Shut up. I'm tired. Leave me alone. I'll show more personality next time. Anyhow, good luck week 2, guys.